Episode 122. Guess what today is, Brock?
It's Celebration Eve. Star Wars Celebration is happening tomorrow, James. Are you excited?
I'd be more excited if I was in Chicago.
That's true. But we've sent our intrepid reporter to Chicago. My greatest enemy, Andrew Fantasia. I hope he has the time of his life.
I think he will. I was actually looking at ways of getting there up until Sunday, but I just couldn't swing it with the old work schedule. So here I am talking to you via, well, we're still not in the same room. But yeah, Andrew Fantasia will be there. But this is also our very, very last Rebel Scum podcast without knowing what the title or seeing any footage from episode 9.
I thought you were just going to end the sentence. This is our last episode. Good night and farewell.
See ya. This is the last one. Friday morning, 11 to 12 a.m. I think Chicago time, so like midnight hour time. So it's at 12 to 1 here. We're going to find out what the title for episode 9 is. I'm guessing we will. We're going to see footage from that movie, most likely a trailer. And we'll see cast and crew, maybe some that we've never seen before, maybe some old friends.
Do you think they're going to pull only the people in the room get to see the trailer, or are we going to see the trailer? Because they did that kind of with Rogue One, no?
No, everyone's going to see the trailer. 100%. No, Rogue One, they didn't have anything because they had to reshoot the whole thing. So they showed a sizzle reel, and then they showed like a secondary sizzle reel for the people there. But I'll say this. After being at Celebration 2 years ago, I obviously we all want to see a trailer, but inevitably we're all going to get a trailer for episode 9 at some point anyway. Yeah. And also after being there 2 years ago, you realize, you take time off from work and from family and from your life, basically. You make that your vacation. A lot of people save up for the last 2 years to go to this. Yeah. It is a lot of money. You have to get your passes. You have to get your transportation. Unless you live, obviously, in Chicago, which I think it's a very small city. But you still have to buy your passes, your transportation, your accommodations, all that stuff, your food, your drinks, all that goes into it, plus what you're going to spend over there. It's financially stressful for a lot of people. And I think, especially, being there, I'm okay if the people there get something that we don't get here. And the other side to that is when you're there, you do get something that we don't get here that's you can't describe. Yeah. It's just something that you get there. But that being said, if they're like, here's a trailer, but here's an exclusive just for you guys. Like, we got that with Battlefront 2. They showed us an exclusive thing, and everybody else got cut off from that. If they do something like that, I'm okay with that too. Yeah, exactly. I'm all for it, but it's sort of give us the trailer. Like, make us wait on the people that don't go, make us wait a little bit longer, but for other stuff, maybe certain content for the new video games, we don't need to see that right away, but the trailer, this is you can't bury that one. You gotta just put it out there, because everyone is gonna be, well, everyone all of us Star Wars nerds are just, all we're going to be talking about is episode 9 and whatever it's going to be called. So then what time will we watch it? Will we see the content at 7 our time, or 7? What? When will the web stream start? Where did you get 7 from? I thought 7 o'clock was something. That is our live streams on the Rebel Scum podcast. Oh, channel. Yes. sorry. So Thursday's live stream is 6 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah. Friday's live stream is 7 p.m. Eastern time. Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah. And Monday. So those are all of our live streams. And Andrew will be doing videos from Celebration himself throughout the day. And also Patreons will get a 1313, my voice one will be continuing. And Andrew is going to do a daily vocal, only audio diary for the Patreons as well. So that's it. But yeah, so 7 o'clock is just us, Brock. I know you're very excited about that. They're putting the content out so you can see it. It's not live. Oh, is it live? Yeah, perfect. It's live. Yeah. I thought it was later. Anyways, no, perfect. It's all live.
okay, then I will have to have a lunch break at specific times.
That's the thing. Like it's 11 to 12, I believe, Chicago time. So I think that works perfectly for us because that's 12 to 1. So guess what? Yeah. I'll be taking lunch 12 to 1.
Yep.
If I have a chance, I don't know if you will, but if I have a chance, I will do a reaction video to the trailer. I think that would be fun to do because it's going to be a great time in the cinema watching that trailer. So that'll be Friday, 12 to 1, whatever. We'll figure it out and we'll do it. Everyone's going to be watching it. Like, Brock, if you go on YouTube all this week, you will, like, if you've ever watched a Star Wars video about anything, everything's going to pop up for it, and it's going to say live in red. Yeah. So you'll be getting it. It's going to be a lot of fun, though. Andrew will be there. You know what? I'll just be like, Andrew, just text me when these freaking things start so I don't have to pay attention. And he'll send me a text. But he's excited. He has all of his equipment that he needs. He got some logins so he can upload things on his own like a big boy. And but I feel like he's just going to be writing the whole time anyway because apparently he's starting a second fantasy novel, and those things are not short.
Mm-hmm. So, wow. So soon we're going to find out. Oh, boy, that's exciting. I wish I could go. But I cannot. I can't wait to do our recap videos each day, and you'll see me in various different locations, either at my parents' house or in a hotel, because I'll be working in Niagara. So should be interesting. This will all change constantly around me. Oh man. But what else? Like, what are we talking about today, James? What is the big topic today?
Because today is our last time being able to talk about episode 9 without knowing anything about episode 9. Like, let that sink in for just 1 minute. Mm-hmm. We kind of had this for The Last Jedi, but we knew it was called The Last Jedi. And we kind of knew where the plot had to go because of the way The Force Awakens ends. Episode 9, we don't know anything about it. This is like almost as raw as we're going into a movie since The Force Awakens. Anyway, so we have to talk about episode 9, get everything we want to say about it off of our chest. And what happens today is that this article comes out, or yesterday, sorry, this article comes out about J.J. Abrams, who wrote and directed Star Wars episode 9 as well as 7. And they asked him about it and how it was taking over for Colin Trevorrow, who got kicked to the curb by Lucasfilm following this up. So you had a chance to read the article. Anything pop out in you in what you read from J.J. Abrams' comments regarding Star Wars Episode 9, The Phantom Awakens?
You know, I mean, his honesty is nice because it's sort of like it's not a paycheck for him. He respects the franchise, and he was just sort of like, well, I wasn't expecting to do this at all, but Kathleen Kennedy said, hey, would you do this? And it's like he almost wanted to say no, which, maybe you don't want to say that, but like he's being completely truthful. He was straight off the bat like, let's make this da-da-da-da, but like there is a point where he's a director. He has to think about his creative projects coming up, and you have to be in the headspace for them. So it almost seemed like he was daunted by, is that the right? He found it daunting that he was kind of on a time squeeze. Like I think they had enough time, but he was like, I don't even have an idea. So it was sort of like, that's kind of cool. And then I believe he said he had no plan to retcon anything. So I mean, it's kind of nice to know that like this isn't just some kind of money grab or anything. This is something being taken seriously. So like Star Wars is in good hand. I say what you want about Force Awakens. It's a deep. No, I love how I just sort of try to cater to both sides of the argument for Force Awakens. I like a Force Awakens. It's a good movie. It's not like the best movie, but it's a movie, and it started off an exciting chapter of Star Wars, and I think it's great. So if he's gonna make something like that again, perfect.
I think what jumped out at a lot of people was when he said that he didn't have an idea for it. And then we did an Unleashed like a year ago about how there's a huge disconnect between the movies. Mm-hmm. And when Mark Hamill came out, he said, well, at the end of Force Awakens, I'm supposed to have rocks levitating around me. And then in The Last Jedi, I've cut myself off from the Force. Mm-hmm. And there's a disconnect. And I think what jumped out there was when he said that, that's another disconnect. Was like, well, how do you not know? How does no one know how this is going to end? And I think I've read the article, but I haven't memorized the article. And what I kind of picked out of it though was, yeah, he didn't have the full scope of how it was going to turn out. Plus, you know, the whole he wasn't going to retcon anything. I think that's out of respect for, first of all, not Rian Johnson, but the movie itself. The movie exists, whether you want to have a petition or not to get it like taken out of canon. The film exists within the universe. It is Episode 8. It is The Last Jedi. It comes right after The Force Awakens. It is the middle part of this final chapter. So I think he understood that. So he's like, he had to write an ending to that movie, obviously. That being said, the other part, the thing that I took from it, though, is he had an idea when he did Force Awakens about how this thing was all going to wrap up. In his mind. Obviously, it wasn't, you know, nobody else was really privy to it. Maybe Simon Pegg, who seems to know everything. But, like, he had an idea. Rian Johnson did his thing. His idea wasn't going to line up perfectly, which would have happened no matter who did Episode 8. No matter who did it, it wasn't going to line up. So now he has to go in, figure out how to do Episode 8, but he still had, I feel like he still had his idea in the back of his mind, and I think he was able to inject the story with his original plans for some of the circumstances that we find our characters. And that's what I really took out of this piece, was that he was going in fresh, but he had an idea and he was writing a sequel. The other thing quickly that I really noticed, though, was when he said he felt like he was playing with fire, because he really succeeded with The Force Awakens. And he even admits the movie has its critics, but it did make $2 billion, right? So I think that's saying something there. So, but he says that he's like, we had to answer questions and we had to ask questions, but we had to answer questions. And that was the thing that we have all, since it was announced that he was doing it, that we all kind of had to, that we all like, well, can J.J. Abrams end something? He doesn't have the best endings in history.
I mean, I'm not someone that like gets wound up about his endings. I know I can see, you know, Lost sort of just ends, but like, I think there's so many people that just get so hung up on everything has to wrap up or everything has to have a formula, but then you get a movie like Last Jedi where it's like there's certain things there's like, well, that's different, and it's like, well, it doesn't have to be a typical thing. So like, why would people want new things only when they're comfortable with it? So it's like, J.J. Abrams' way of doing things, or the projects he supports, even if he's not directing, or you know what I mean, like it's not a matter of it's bad storytelling, it's a matter of you don't like the story, which is totally valid, but like that doesn't, you can't say he's a bad director or writer if you personally don't like the story. It just seems unfair. I think though, in regards to the fact he's not gonna like retcon any of Ryan's ideas, I think like perhaps we might get a better film, because now he had an idea and now he has to mesh that with Rian Johnson's idea. Perhaps it will improve his story, because he's like, okay, so this is where our characters are at, this is where I wanted to go, how do we bring those together? Sometimes that's better, because you're forced again to be creative, and like new thoughts can get processed because you're kind of, you see the map and you're like, how do we get here to here? So I think it's beneficial that, you know, he doesn't want to scrap what was made up and you just keep going, you know, so.
Absolutely. And you know, it's funny because, you know, we talk about the disconnect and everybody's like, oh, I wish there was one mastermind behind everything and blah, blah. You know what movies had one mastermind? The prequels. And look, you know, I love the prequels, but the prequels had a lot of haters out there, probably equal to or greater than the sequel trilogy. And they all complained that George Lucas, you know, just did what George Lucas wanted to do, and he had all yes men, and it was all his decision. Yeah. So which one do you want? One, or like, I don't know what you want. You're not like, you know, we joke, Star Wars fans just seem to be the most unhappy fan. Except, I will say this, except the real Star Wars fans, the ones who saved up their money, spend their hard-earned money, and are going to celebrations, or the ones that, you know what, weren't able to put the money away or have family or, you know, financial reasons or job secure reasons that they can't go, and they're going to sit and they're going to watch the live streams. Those are the real fans. And they're all happy because 2 years ago, everybody was so dang happy about everything. Star Wars, and it was awesome to see. Even that annoying guy behind us who wanted to buy 7,000 X-Wing Luke Skywalker Black Series figures. How did he win every lottery? How did he win every lottery? God.
One final thing about that article, though, I thought kind of stood out, and I'm pretty sure I'm quoting this correctly. J.J. Abrams says that when Kathleen Kennedy asked you to do something, or no, he didn't phrase it like that. It was like, she's like, would you do it? We would like you to do this project. She's like, he said she always has the right idea. So he's supporting that, like, even though a lot of people are like, oh, Kathleen Kennedy, she needs to get fired. It's like, this is the guy that actually works with her extensively, and he trusts her judgment. So, I mean, in my opinion, in that article, I felt like what sold him was that she thought it was a good idea. He was never going in. She was like, we want you. We think you would be a good fit. Would you do it? Sorry. Like, that's great for her. You're still going to get people that are like, oh, she ruined my childhood. Your childhood's fine.
The only people that want Kathleen Kennedy fired are the annoying people on YouTube.
Yeah.
Who don't shut up in the comments. And I just want to let everybody know. And look, I love all the, like, please comment. I read the comments. You read the comments. Andrew can't read, but he would read the comments if he could. The one person I know for a fact that does not read the comments is Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah.
So, we can say whatever we can. Right now, we could be like, she is the greatest or she is the worst. The reality is she does not know we exist.
Yeah. That's a very good point.
But she's been in the industry for longer than we've been alive. She's been very successful in the industry since before we've been alive. And J.J. Abrams, well, and whatever you think of The Last Jedi, think of what you want. But she took a chance.
Yeah.
And I would say it takes more guts to take a chance with a product like Star Wars where you are guaranteed money than to just be like, hey, you know what, Luke, green lightsaber, and he's going to lift up and throw things at his face. Side Akbar. Because I almost just said Luke's going to lift up a rock and throw it. Then I thought of that last scene in The Last Jedi where Rey lifts rocks, and he goes, what is this about, just lifting rocks? And then my mind went right back to that interview Mark Hamill had where he said at the end of The Force Awakens, the rocks were all lifted around him. Is that a shot Rian Johnson is taking at J.J. Abrams about lifting rocks in the Force? Is that it? There's a conspiracy here.
Actually, when we were talking about Yoda last episode, that the visual of Rey with rocks floating around, because I think we said Yoda with the rocks floating around, I'm like, oh, that's kind of the same thing. I didn't really want to create a parallel, because what is the parallel besides they're both Jedi or whatever they are now? That's what I want answered. James, what is the state of the Force? Are you just good and bad, or is there going to be a new nomenclature?
That's the title. State of the Force.
State of the Force.
Episode 9.
New kid in the White House.
Well, if you watched our Unleashed episode from earlier, maybe we answered that question.
No, that's good. I'm okay. I'm not
check
in it. Yeah.
You are in it, Brock.
I don't rewatch anything I'm in. This is what I do. When I know that the episode is up, I go look at it. I'm like, yeah, it looks good. And then I read the comics, and then I moonwalk out of there.
You read the comments, and if none of the comics say, Brock, I love you, you leave. You're out of there.
No, I like to hear what people have to say, and I feel like sometimes I get some really good viewpoints from our viewers. I don't want to say fans, because why would you be a fan
viewers.
Of us?
They're not. They're just, no, but it's true.
Our YouTube friends. That's what we'll call it.
Are you friends? That's part of what I love about it, though, is when people like talk to me on the comments and on Twitter and on Facebook. Like, it's like, cool. Sometimes, I had no idea, and then other times I'm like, I know that we're on the same page. This is awesome. Yeah. Subscribe. Oh yeah, guys, subscribe to our channel. Give us a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle, all around. I just made that song up.
Rebel Scum podcast, the best. But yeah.
By the way, Josh of the Den of Nerds made T-shirts for his crew, and I'm just saying, 2 years ago we did that, bruh. We did that.
Yeah.
We did that, bruh. We didn't need 60,000 subscribers.
WTF.
Yeah, bruh.
Why the fudge.
Yeah, he's trying to steal Andrew from us over down there. I'm like, yo, bro.
Go right ahead. Come at me, bro. You take Andrew Fantasia. It would be a weight off my shoulders. No, he needs to come back. He has borrowed equipment from me, and I need that back.
Anyway,
no, go ahead.
No, go on.
No,
I'm just saying, JJ excites me. Like you know what, I like The Force Awakens. It's not my top Star Wars movie by any means. I'm like some choices. I'm just like, why? But I love Attack of the Clones. Hate me on that. But the Droid Factory, I'm like, why? So it's not the most uncommon thing for me to say why in the middle of a movie. And I just this article really, when I read it, it really struck me with optimism. And we're gonna have a Never Tell Me the Odds coming up that that this is really gonna propel that odd of mine.
Yeah.
Do you want to go to odds?
Let's do Never Tell Me the Odds. Let's do it.
Never Tell Me the Odds. The first odd. Oh wait, we should read our Patreons, should we not? Do you have the list in front of
you? Yes.
Here we go. Patreon. I'll go first. Barry Brophy, Heidi Fedor, Dennis Allen, Al Schuler, Phil Staniforth, Heather Long, Aaron Quinton, JRB Nerdcast, Scott D,
Christine Allison, Jacob Nixon, Andy Higgins, Mason Hop. Do we know if we're pronouncing that yet? Matt W.
Let us know.
FP, and everybody's worst villains, the Den of Nerds. No, I'm just joking. Josh, thank you for your support.
I don't think it's Josh supporting us.
I bring you kisses.
I just want no one has ever pointed this out, but you notice how Andrew Fantasia is not on there?
Oh, does he support us?
No, apparently not. Damn it, Andrew. I'm just joking. Of course he's on there. He's not actually on there. Like, why would he be on there? Yeah. All right, to start things off, we're going to go over to video. We have a call-in on the old dial-up. It's like an old rotary. So our first odd is coming to us courtesy of Aaron Quinn. Take it away, Aaron.
Hello and greetings, fellow Rebel Scum. I am Aaron Quinton, and I was invited by our most gracious hosts, James and Brock, to do an impromptu Never Tell Me the Odds about a specific character that is near and dear to my heart. And that would be none other than the apprentice apparent, the only Padawan of Anakin Skywalker. And I like to introduce this character that way to you, to remind you that when George Lucas himself came to, as Dave Filoni puts it himself in many interviews, came to Dave Filoni, and George Lucas told him that Anakin Skywalker had a Padawan during the Clone Wars. It was a joint venture. I know, and I love Dave Filoni, but I know he gets most of the credit, and as well he should. However, I do think that it is forgotten many times over that it was Mr. Lucas himself that came to Mr. Filoni with this idea. So I'm going to do a Never Tell Me the Odds special guest segment, I guess, about Ahsoka Tano. And as many of you out there in the Star Wars fandom may be aware, there's been plenty of speculation about which ancillary characters from other Star Wars media we might see in Star Wars Episode 9. But what are the odds that we will see Ahsoka Tano in Star Wars Episode 9? It's such a difficult question, guys, and I love this character so much. So the fact that you have bestowed upon me gentleman the task of even coming up with the odds for such a question. Good grief. I'm going to answer it this way. I do think that there are enough people in the know who have their own wily ways of hinting at information, at telling us things without saying anything at all. Some very, prominent figures in the Star Wars fandom on various YouTube channels and whatnot and websites have said that this is going to be a very fan servicey movie, and not in a bad way. That Disney does know, Lucasfilm knows that, The Last Jedi was divisive. None of us can pretend it wasn't. So I love the Last Jedi personally, but I'm also a David Lynch fan, and I even did send a tweet towards Mr. Rian Johnson saying that I guess this is as close as we're going to get to a Star Wars movie being directed by Mr. Lynch, which he almost did direct Return of the Jedi, by the way. So that was an accolade that I gave him, and like any Lynch movie, there's a lot of stuff that I'm not going to bloviate about in this video, but I love The Last Jedi. But Disney's aware that, they might want to do some things that still serve the story and yet please other segments, let's say, of the fandom. And so it's possible, or we wouldn't even be having this talk today. I would put the odds that they would do something like introduce Ahsoka in live action in episode 9. I would have to put the odds, unfortunately, at 40%, which is still rather high, I think, from a certain point of view. Now, that would be Ahsoka herself, hopefully played by Ashley Eckstein. She was an actor, in live-action television long before she was a voice actor for Ahsoka. So this question of whether she could even do it, I think, is preposterous, to be honest with you. However, I'm going to give some additional odds. I think the odds, thanks to Dave Filoni's tweet, and I believe it was around Christmas, it was like a Christmas present, he did a sketch of Ahsoka with extremely long montrails, far longer than what we see at the epilogue of Star Wars Rebels, which takes place after Return of the Jedi, just after the Battle of Endor, from what we know. So much longer than even, Ahsoka the White. I don't think it's beyond possibility that, Force Ghost Luke, just like Obi-Wan, echoing the original trilogy, shows up and says, Rey, you have to seek out Ahsoka. She was the Jedi who trained under my father. She will tell you things that you need to know. This is very important. You can find her here. Boom, Luke disappears. It would wrap up her arc in a beautiful way, and since she does not appear in Revenge of the Sith, which, if there's any alteration to that movie that's ever made, if there's a special edition, even a nugget of a reference to Ahsoka in that movie that's slipped in there, even if it's a hologram message from her on Mandalore to Obi-Wan, would, I think, work wonders for tying loose ends together. Filoni might use her as a kind of glue, like the glue that holds Kylo's helmet together, but like a kind of glue that he, with, obviously his input, would use her as a character and insert her where it's necessary to help glue all the new live action series together. Thanks a lot, guys. That is my point of view. So from a certain point of view, those are the odds I see of Ahsoka Tano being literally in episode 9, referenced in episode 9, and as a bonus in any upcoming live action Star Wars. Thanks again to everybody here at the Rebel Scum podcast for having me along as a guest, and may the Force be with you always.
Thank you so much, Aaron. Fantastic viewpoints. Like, it's amazing that we got this on this episode where we're talking about directors, and like David Fincher being compared, Rian Johnson being compared to David Fincher. Like, that's kind of cool because it's like, oh yeah, like he was supposed to do that. I never thought about that. And then relating it back to the J.J. Abrams article, it's like, well, sometimes you're just gonna get a movie that's like, I don't know if I get it, you know, like it. Like, I think people sometimes can respect not understanding movies. I think that's what's happening with us right now, where people are like, there's so much things happening in us, but I know it's good. But yeah, I love the odds that Aaron put out there. Should we do each question, or should I just shoot out both my odds for what he said, or what do you want to do, James?
Go for it. Go for it. Shout out.
Yeah, low on Ahsoka being in episode 9. Not, again, I would love Ahsoka in a live action film or a Netflix show. I don't know if she makes sense in this movie, but I will go high. So I'll go high or low on that 20%. I'm gonna go high on mentioned, because I liked that, his little theory there. Like, I want to say 80%, because even if it's just a slight blurb, this is typical Star Wars where they'll mention something and then we can sort of grow them somewhere else. Like, typically it's comic books or TV shows, but we're living in this time where let's just make it, like, make the movie. So yeah, 80% that she gets mentioned or something like it. Yeah,
I'm gonna say, yeah, the one thing Aaron had, like, he's big on Ahsoka, and he does like cool. He sent me a video before where he went into why Ahsoka could easily be in Star Wars and in episode 9 or another live action film. I don't think she's going to be in it though. But I'm saying that, how cool it would be if the trailer ends and right before it ends we see like a silhouette and it's clearly Ahsoka.
Yeah. Like you don't, yeah, silhouette and then the white lightsabers or something. Or does,
yeah. Oh man, that would be awesome. But it's tough. It's tough because if Kylo goes to this Oracle creature that we talked about in Unleashed, if he goes to that, who's to say Rey doesn't go to another Oracle creature and it's Ahsoka? The other thing is, though, we don't know where she is. Also, and we don't know, and right now, the thing that sucks about doing this odd right now is we don't know what the movie's about.
Yeah.
So would it make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go low. I'm gonna go 16% that she's in it. Sorry. But being mentioned, here's where it's genius for her to be mentioned, is this is the end of the Skywalker Saga, and if it all comes back to Vader, to Anakin Skywalker, that's his Padawan.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's almost, you know, a shoo-in that she could easily be mentioned, as much as Luke could mention Sidious and the Sith in Last Jedi. Ahsoka could be mentioned here. And in mentioning Ahsoka, you know, maybe like his Padawan Ahsoka, you just say it, and then people will be like, he had a Padawan, and all of a sudden you're using episode 9 to get people to go watch your new Clone Wars show. But it's like there's a history here, and then people can start to understand that. And that's what Star Wars really needs to do, is focus on those other layers. But we'll get to that in another show. But like, that is, so I mentioned I want to go high, but I also want to go full Brock. Well, like, because as easy as it is to say it, it's also easy to be like, I'm not mentioning that, and then you don't mention it, and then, you know, you know what, I like it, so I'm gonna go 60%. Did you go 60?
For the second one, 80%.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go 60 though. That's fine. I gotta go that because I'm high, but I'm also like, J.J. Abrams is also the guy that took out all of the pod racing flags. You know, so it's just like, but that makes me nervous. But thanks for that. That one was awesome.
Thank you, Aaron.
Send us one. Yeah, thanks a lot, Aaron. Great chatting with you about it. Our next odd. Here we go. The odds of Star Wars fans' expectations skyrocketing after watching the episode 9. And I mean this for the lovers and the haters of all things Star Wars lately. After we see that trailer, everybody will be like the prodigal son has returned, J.J. Abrams has saved Star Wars.
I'm going to say high as well. Like, I want to say 75. I'm going to go 80 because I'm optimistic. I think there's so many people going to this longer celebration. It's 5 days instead of 4.
But Star Wars is dead.
Yeah, like, it's like tons of people have bought, like, it's practically sold out, I believe. Like, this is like a lot of people are making this trek to Chicago, which is a bigger venue than in Florida. I think people want to be happy about Star Wars, so I think they'll deliver because there's so many new avenues. I think that I was just thinking when we were talking about like where Ahsoka could exist, that like I wonder what will happen when Disney Plus comes out and now people, I'm not saying they're gonna all gravitate to the Star Wars content on it, but do you think like now that it's a little bit upfront, like because Disney's gonna push all their things and Netflix doesn't have to push things to the same extent, so will people discover a new part of Star Wars and then like, ooh, Ahsoka, like this could be, if they could sort of put her in there and then at the exact same time this is all happening, maybe this creates a whole new interest in Star Wars. So I'm very optimistic, and that was my long answer to say 80%. I think everyone's going to be happy.
I got to go 89%. There's 11% of the people who be like, well, I still don't trust them because of The Last Jedi. But look, I've said it from, I think, like day one that the episode 9, The Phantom Awakens, or The Menace Awakens, or whatever they're calling it.
The Phantom takes a nap.
It's going to make $1.5 billion at the box office. At least, you know, and if it's good, it'll make more, and if it's not good, it'll make 1.5 because this is the last Skywalker Saga. Now, if this was the last Star Wars movie, they were like, yeah, we're not gonna make any more after this, then it would be like, we gotta go. I think, you know, if you comparing this to Revenge of the Sith, though, for me is intriguing in that was the end, right? But we all knew how it was gonna end, but we wanted to see how it was gonna end. This movie is almost like, I don't know how it's going to end, and I don't even think it's going to end. I think that's the biggest hurdle going into this movie is people are like, well, they're going to make another one because they have to, because they can't. Like, no one understands where it's going. So, for me though, I think if you remember the first teaser that came out around American Thanksgiving, where we first saw the Jakku and then Finn come up with the stormtrooper gear on, and Snoke like, something. That's my Snoke impression. Right, you remember like the light side. There's been an awakening. The light. I don't know what that voice is. The light side and the dark. Anyway, so remember that. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Then they did the one at Star Wars Celebration Anaheim, which was cool, which was really awesome. But then Han Solo came out and he was like, Chewie. We're home. My voices are all the same. They're all the same voices.
We're home.
We're home.
That's how
was
the
that
Force
Yoda?
works.
I thought you were Yoda.
I know, he doesn't say it.
but like, Chewie, we're home.
Chewie, we're home, like, right above my head.
Yeah, right above your head. That took the cake though, right? Like, that was like a brilliant moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I just see, like, how could they not do that with episode 9? Like, they haven't shown us anything. The first one, they showed us something. They haven't shown us anything. They can do anything they want to blow our minds. And I feel like this movie's going to have enough to blow our minds. And they're going to do it in this trailer. And all the haters, they're going to still be skeptical because they have to, because that's how far over the deep end they are on the hate side. And the love side, they're too far on the love side to see it as anything but bad. But I just think it's going to be a great trailer. It's going to be one of those ones that's going to be downloaded 1 million times in the first, like, hour. And, Brock, we've already seen it 7 times.
That's right.
Anyway, 89% for me.
89%.
And the last thought, the last odd, and this is actually the most important odd we've ever done, and I hope Andrew Fantasia is listening to this. He's in Chicago now, so. Andrew will eat pizza 3 out of the 5 days he attends Star Wars Celebration. A deep dish Chicago style pizza 3 out of the 5 days he's at Star Wars Celebration.
First, if he doesn't eat pizza, he's dead to me.
Well, he's gonna eat pizza, but how many times?
See, the problem is when you're at Celebration, unless you've had enough, you're gonna be there all day.
Yeah, but all night.
If he had a little bit more time spaced out that he could, I would definitely say yes. I just know I feel like Andrew has a very wide palate. He doesn't want to. He's not a guy that just wants to eat the same thing. I think, like when we went to Orlando, when we went shopping, he's like, I have to get these Pop-Tarts that we don't get at home, and he doesn't. Like he had the Pop-Tarts, but he didn't eat them every day. He wasn't content to eat garbage.
Oh no, he ate them. He ate them every day.
I don't know. I know he still had some left over.
But did you hit the box? It was like a Costco size, like 900 pack.
Okay, fine. Yes, just trample all over it. But anyways, I'm trying to pay him a compliment. You're like, no, he ate like a seagull.
He had Papa John's at 6 in the morning. Are you kidding me?
Because that was the only thing there. I'm gonna say more time, three times. I don't know. I really am conflicted now. I'm gonna go full Brock on that because I'm Brock and I can do that.
I think he's gonna have pizza for the whole week that he's in Chicago. He's gonna have it 4 times. Celebration, I'm gonna go 51% because I can't do full Brock as well. But I just the problem is I don't see him like spending all day at Celebration. They're like, well, let's go for a deep dish. I heard there's another one down the street because there will be, but I just don't understand. And he's gonna be having so much fun, and hopefully he meets up with a lot of people that I've been sending him contacts for all of these people that do not want to meet him, and just like go. I haven't actually been doing that. It's a joke. I hope he has a good time. I hope he has lots of pizza. And I know Giordano's that they give you take home pizza. Like you can buy like a to go, like a frozen style pizza. And I'm just saying, if he doesn't bring us some back, is he still our friend?
Ooh, I wouldn't go that far because he never was our friend. So I hope so. That'd be great. I love me some deep dish, and you live too far away to make me your homemade deep dish. So yeah, pizza. That's really. I want to see this. I want to see this trailer so bad for episode 9, but I would rather stuff my face with a Chicago style pie. Hey baby.
Never tell me the odds. You would if someone said there's a free deep dish down the street, you would skip the episode 9 panel and go directly to the deep dish store.
Correct.
Yeah. All right, let's go on to the news. Let's go on to the news.
All right, Holo news. Well, I don't know if you knew this, but Celebration's tomorrow. So there's going to be a lot of Holo news soon, but right now it's basically just about Holo news. Yesterday they revealed on the EA and Respawn Entertainment Twitter. Or no, okay, actually, I didn't write it down. Let's just call it the EA Twitter. They showed a live animation poster for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which I am just having issues remembering. For Star Wars Jedi just doesn't flow in my head like it should be. Anyways, I'm excited for this game. They showed it's like a animated poster. We see like what I thought originally was an ancient lightsaber, but maybe it's just more damage. I don't know. It's a very unique style that I don't think we've seen before, but it's over top like a circular ruins that reminded me of the dark side, light side ruins that we see in Last Jedi when we're on Ahsoka. But in it are Arabesh, and part of it is illuminated, and it says in Arabesh when it's translated to English, don't stand out. Yes, and that's sort of the tagline for this game, because as we know, it's going to follow a character who I think they're calling Padawan, or he's just a young character that survives Order 66, and you are that character, and you have to learn to survive. So that makes sense because he has to live in this post-Order 66 galaxy. That they released that, and I believe there's a trailer. I wasn't able to play it. Let us know if you were able to play it. Maybe I should check again later. But that revealed in, just to get people excited for the panel that's going to happen Saturday, April 13 about 1:30 p.m. So that'll be on their Twitch channel, which I think is what the problem was. I was looking at the video that was going to this Twitch channel, so the channel seems to be live, but it's not going to show anything until April 13th. So stay tuned to that. Obviously, you'll be able to see it on YouTube as well with the Star Wars YouTube channel. But it's exciting. We're finally getting a game that could give us something new about Star Wars. It's not typical Battlefront, so that's exciting. And then in regards to the rest of the celebration, as we already said, it will be broadcasted on StarWars.com and the YouTube channel for Star Wars. But exclusively, keep this written down. I have it here. The panel for episode 9 is 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm glad I read all of this. Well, anyways, it's happening on the 12th in the morning. And it's been confirmed that Kathleen Kennedy and J.J. Abrams will be present for this panel. Of course, we're expecting a lot more. There's probably going to be important cast members showing up. And the most important part, we're hopefully getting a title and even hopefully more getting a trailer. So that'll be the morning of Friday, April 12th. So you can check that out. There are also, keep in mind, Jon Favreau's live action TV series The Mandalorian will be April 14th. The video games will be on April 13th, as I just said. Star Wars Clone Wars Season 7 preview will be April 14th as well. And the Star Wars Phantom Menace, hosted by Warwick Davis, will happen on Monday, April 15th, to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Phantom Menace. Exciting stuff. So keep glued to your YouTube. Keep glued to this channel. We will get the info you want. And what a week we got ahead of us. And in our final stories, if you're really jazzed about Star Wars right now, why not head on down to your local Walmart, or if you're in the States, Target, or just go to Amazon.com, because they secretly released, and by secret I mean they didn't talk about it, but it's out there already, some Lego Star Wars 20th anniversary sets, exclusively for the fact that Star Wars and Lego have been partnering, putting these sets together for exactly 20 years this month. And it's a big deal for Lego because it's more or less kind of saved their company because they weren't doing well in 1999. So it's been 20 years. It's crazy that's happened so far. So anyways, if you're a Lego person and you want to get their new sets, there's a Slave One, a Clone Skywalker, a Snow Speeder, a Pod Racer, and an Imperial Dropship, all available, as I said, at Target, at Walmart, and Amazon.com. Check it out, or Amazon.ca if you are in Canada. And that's been Holo News. I can't wait till next week where I read 17 stories because of all the news that we're gonna get. So
minimum 17 stories.
Minimum. And I'm not even talking about like our reactions to each day. Like next week is gonna be crazy.
Yeah, this is gonna be a lot of fun coming up. I'm looking forward to the live streams. Looking forward to what's going on. So just to reiterate, we have live streams Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern. All the other ones are 7 p.m. Eastern. Andrew's going to be dropping videos daily. And then we'll probably do some other stuff throughout the week and weekend as well as things come up. Thursday will probably be the slowest of all the days in terms of videos. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows? It's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait to talk more Star Wars and doing it all. And thank you guys. And also, we have a Patreon exclusive contest. You can win Claudia Gray's Master and Apprentice. Brock, how do you win that?
You just tell us the answer to the trivia to be entered into a draw, and then we pick your name, or is it the first person that...
No, it's
the first person that sends it in?
Yeah.
Shall I repeat the question, James?
Yes.
All right. Star Wars fans, for the book, Master and Apprentice by Claudia Gray. Where is Qui-Gon Jinn from? What planet does Qui-Gon Jinn hail from? That's that simple. It's that simple. I'm not saying Google it. I'm just saying maybe it's on Google. I don't know. I don't know. I'm excited for whoever wins. And then I am also excited for that book. I want to read it myself. So, boom.
Yeah, and that will announce the winner of that during Friday's live stream at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And also, Brock, I'm dropping this right now. We'll be doing another contest. For everybody that watches that live stream will be entered into the new contest. I will announce a prize on tomorrow's live stream. It's pretty cool. Not really, but you might like it. But everybody is involved in that, not just our Patreons. But Brock, I'm dropping that knowledge on you right now.
Okay, sounds good.
Oh, I have a prize, and I was like, we should give this away. So Friday's live stream, the trailer day live stream, we will announce that one. But the Patreon winner will be announced on Friday as well. Okay, you want to do top 5?
I do. What is our top 5 today, James?
Top 5 things we are excited to find out about, to experience a Star Wars Celebration, or from Star Wars Celebration, since we won't actually be in Chicago. But 5 things we're looking forward to the most from the event.
Perfect. Shall I go first, or do you want to go first?
You go first, because I got mine. Go ahead.
Okay, top 5 for me. Number 5, merchandise. And I say that because as much as I'm excited for Funko Pops and Black Series and what have you and different things that are coming out, I'm also excited to see pins and stuff like that. So I said to Andrew, I'm like, hey, if you get Wi-Fi there, let us know if you're in line for things, because we will send you money. We will send you money so we can get it. But yeah, I mean, pins are always fun there. So that's why I want to say merchandise. I know James is ecstatic for the Watto Funko Pop. And I want that one too. And the Chrome Chewbacca's, of course. I can't have all the Funkos, so I have limited myself to what exactly I want. So I'm hopeful like he's game to get in line, or if it's like, I don't want to ruin Andrew's experience, but like if he has chances to get these things, that'd be fantastic.
I want that Watto Funko, and I want that Darth Maul Funko. I have the 2 other Mauls, so I want to get the 3rd Maul, and I want to have a collection of Maul.
Yeah.
Because you've seen my Praetorian Guard collection, but you have not seen my Rey and Kylo Ren collection. It just got a boost today. And I also have my Anakin collection. I don't know if that's on camera or not. I have an Anakin collection. I have little collections.
Yeah.
And Maul is one of them. I know he's one of my favorite characters. Why not? I don't have merchandise on my list. I did ask Andrew to get me if he goes into the show store, the Celebration store, they have a Phantom Menace t-shirt. It's the poster, but it's hand-drawn. My goodness, it is beautiful, and I want it. Andrew, wait 3 hours in line and get it for me. No excuses. There's also a Phantom Menace hat. I'm like, and I went to him like, here's my money. Yeah. I gave him my paycheck. I just said, here. I know it's a digital transfer now. So here's the paycheck. My number 5 is Jedi Fallen Order. You just talked about it. You know I love the Battlefront games. I'm looking forward to a new Star Wars game where you get to be a Jedi. The outline sounds amazing. The story sounds great. Sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun to play. It might not be, but it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. And from the Battlefront 2 presentation 2 years ago, I think that panel will be explosive. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yep. It's going to create a lot of interest in this, even though it's made by EA.
Hey man,
you know, Capcom makes Street Fighter, and I bought Street Fighter for $9.99, and then I wanted to play as Blanca, and it cost me $7.99 to buy them, and I said no. And I had four characters, and I was like, "Where's the I haven't heard outrage about that game."
Oh no, there was.
Oh, was there? Okay, good. But not as loud as the Star Wars outrage in my world. Yeah, no, that's BS, man. I spent $9.99 on a game. I got to be 3 players. None of them were Jean-Claude Van Damme. None of them. That movie was on TV 2 days ago, and I was like, "This is freaking amazingly bad." I own it on VHS. It is great.
That would be an amazing DLC skins for Street Fighter if you could like John Van Damme as Guile or Guile? Yeah, Guile.
Yeah. All American. Ming-Na as Chun-Li.
Ming-Na as Chun-Li. Yeah, I was trying to remember. I was like, what's that woman? But I was like, no, she was in Mortal Kombat. Oh, that'd be fantastic.
I loved Mortal Kombat. I don't know if it's still. I liked Mortal Kombat when I was younger too, but whatever. Whatever.
Yeah, I like both. My number 4, I think, is going to be Mandalorian. I don't have expectations for this, but like, I'm not as excited for that as other things in my list. So, but I am excited for it. So it's got to be in the top 5.
Yeah, that's my number 4 as well. I think it's going to be footage, Mandalorian footage. If we can see some footage, I think we're going to. Why else would they have a panel? I'm not as excited for it as I am, like you said, other things that are coming up. Yeah. But the Mandalorian it's the first Star Wars live action TV show. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say there's a lot of risk involved because it is just the Mandalorian. It's not like Jedi Army, like it's Mandalorian. It's small in scale. But it has been renewed for a second season. And
wow.
But I'm really curious to see how it world builds. Like, because Clone Wars, Rebels, I always go back to Rebels, where I think Rebels is perfect in terms of lore expanding and world building and whatnot. And I would love a live action show to do something similar. Mm-hmm. I'll go into number 3. Because your number 1's probably more exciting than mine. My number 3 is the episode 9 title. I am sick of saying episode 9. And I'm sick of seeing the Roman numeral for 9. Let's move on. Give me a title.
I thought that'd be top of the list for you. I'm surprised. Brock, just the title, Just the title?
No,
okay.
My number one.
No, don't say it, because we're going to say it at the same time.
Everyone, no, it's not what you think. Everyone knows what my episode 9 is, but you. My number 1 is, but you apparently. Okay. Give me your number 3.
My number 3 is going to be. There, see, I already flipping up the title already. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I'm excited. I've been playing a lot of Far Cry and Red Dead Redemption, and I'm like, I kind of like have started putting those 2 games in the same kind of category. Like, they're kind of adventure shooters. I think if EA is smart, they'll follow that pattern, because a lot of people like those games, and it's something that it'll entertain you, and the story will be good, and it'll suck you in. I don't know what EA has planned. I mean, we have little snippets, but I'm excited. The trailer got me jazzed, or the poster got me jazzed this morning.
So good.
So I'm in.
How funny would it be if it's just Battlefront 3, but you're a Jedi?
Just a Jedi?
Yeah, it's just Battlefront 3. That I told you that for my number 2, the episode 9 trailer.
Wow. Oh, okay. I know where you're going with number 1.
Yeah, you know where.
Okay.
Look. It's the first real day of celebration, because Thursday's just, I think you go shopping, you do what you need to do. Yeah. Friday, like, this is the big bad boy. This was Good Friday when we went 2 years ago, like legitimately Good Friday. Ryan Johnson came and hung out with fans. This is the day people want to go to Celebration for the panel. Every other panel is whatever. But this is the one that's like the most anticipated, because it has the most unknown going into it. And this is my number 2, because I don't give a crap about your unknowns.
My number 2 is going to be the Phantom Menace panel, because you got to give respect to the source material. Hopefully George Lucas is there. Warwick Davis is going to be a host, so like anyone going to Celebration that can hear my voice, if Warwick Davis is hosting a show and you have to decide which panel, and you have to decide between which one to go, let Warwick Davis always be your deciding decision. He's there.
Preach.
You're gonna have a heck of a time. He makes Ray Park really interesting. Ray Park is interesting already, but he makes him even more interesting. But yeah, Ray Park, Warwick Davis, great host. He knocks it out of the park. But again, I'm very interested to just hear Phantom Menace banter. I mean, I feel like I personally haven't watched a lot and don't give that movie enough attention that I should. So yeah, I'm very excited. And let me guess what your number 1 is, James.
My number 1 is the one thing that I'm actually most devastated about missing.
This is a drum roll.
The Phantom Menace panel.
Guess what my number 1 is?
I know, we flip-flopped on our number 1. Look, Phantom Menace panel. Everything you just said. This is the Phantom Menace. This was The kickoff of the new era of filmmaking and Star Wars and digital and Gollum. Yeah. We don't have Gollum without like this whole thing now. It's a Phantom Menace. Everyone knows I love the Phantom Menace. There's so much in there that I love. I hope George Lucas shows up to that. You know, the Ray Park panel, when we went 2 years ago, that was one panel that I wanted to go to, and we were lucky enough to get into, and it was a lot of fun. But ultimately, what it comes down to, though, is Episode 9 panel is great and all. And we weren't lucky enough to go to the 40th anniversary, and we barely got to see it because we were in line while it was happening. Yeah. But the thing with Star Wars Celebration is it is a celebration of Star Wars. And Episode 9, we're not celebrating it yet. We're anticipating it, and we're watching it, and we're experiencing it together, and that's great. I'm not doubting that was my number 2. But the Phantom Menace panel, like the 40th anniversary panel, this is a celebration of the first chapter of the Skywalker Saga. Is a celebration of all of those things that were new to us, that were old to us, of the Qui-Gons, of the Mauls, of the pod racing, of Wattos, of Sebulba, of Jar Jar, Padme. There's so much in there. And that is what Star Wars Celebration is all about, is those kind of moments. I mean, for me, if I was at Celebration, Brock, my number 1 would be just walking the show floor like I did on Easter Sunday 2 years ago. Yeah. That would be my number 1. But I'm not there, so I can't do that. I hope that's Andrew's number 1, but because I can't do it. But so for me, as somebody who's outside observer looking, it's the Phantom Menace one, because that Star Wars Celebration is that, and that's what I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah. And my number 1 is the trailer, because this is why.
How about if they don't have a trailer, we're gonna laugh.
Hey, you know what? If they don't, I'd be like, bravo.
Yeah.
Bravo, Disney, Lucasfilm, like.
Yeah, and then you watch the freaking McCormick place light up in flames. There's a riot.
No, there wouldn't be a riot. They all run home to complain about it on social media. Though I guess you can do that on your phone. But you know what I mean?
Complaining while they eat their turkey burgers. Every one of them.
Oh, everyone going to Celebration that can hear my voice. I don't know why I keep saying that. Have a fantastic time, because
seriously,
the fine people at Reed Pop that put this all together, they do a really good job. I mean, there's always parts where you're like, why did you do it this way? Like, they didn't have enough signs when we were there. But like, they create a good experience. As long as you go with a good attitude, you're gonna have a good time. So have a fantastic time, and I'll be thinking about you.
Yeah, and I do want to plug one thing that's happening at Star Wars Celebration, if I may. I have to open it, though, so give me a second. Our good friend Din from F105, who's been a friend of the show, been on the show several times.
Yes.
Hold on, he's debuting a new song. It's I think I'm allowed to say what it's called. It's called Song for Celebration.
Sick.
Not gonna say what it's about. He sent it to me. I am absolutely not allowed to. Once he debuts it, we're gonna play it on this channel.
Yeah.
But I'm not allowed to until then. But he sent it to me. I have heard it. So he's debuting it on Friday, April 12th at 4 p.m. So that live stream we can play it. If the Wi-Fi is good, it'll be streamed live on Facebook. So check out F105 on Facebook, and that will be during the Skywalking Through Neverland podcast at the podcast show stage at 4 p.m. April 12th. He's going to do that, and then he's joining on Monday. He's joining Star Wars Underworld main floor booth show recording Monday, April 15th at 3 p.m. And he's going to try to do a live feed from there as well. But like we said, the Wi-Fi may be spotty, so we don't know. Yeah, but anyway, if you guys are around, you want to check out the podcast stage. We love promoting other podcasts, but Skywalking Through Neverland, he'll be debuting that song April 12th, and then he's on Star Wars Underworld on Monday as well. So check Din out, friend of the show, good guy. And he wrote a song just for Celebration. And I don't know, I'm going to say it, I don't care. He's listening on a bus and he'll yell at me.
Okay.
But he was kind of like weaving in it, like the fandom kind of hit him hard the last little while because it was so toxic for a while. So this song's good. It's good. It's awesome. It's about Celebration. It kind of fits it. When I heard it, it took me back to like what made Celebration fun, because there were parts of Celebration where like, oh my god, like when you're in line 3 hours outside or when you're in line 4 hours inside, But then there were moments when you're like meeting new people who just love Star Wars, and you're like, let's just talk about Star Wars. Like there's everyone at Celebration's there for the same reason, and they're there to have a good time, and that's what you got out of the song. Anyway,
I'm excited to hear the song. This is fantastic.
I'll send it to you off air.
No thanks.
He actually, at one point, he says, everyone listen to Rebel Scum podcast.
Oh!
On the radio, and he doesn't actually say that.
Aww.
He actually, Side Akbar, he when he started writing it, he did send me the original, like, old lyrics to it, like, a long time ago.
Oh, wow, cool.
And I was like, can I sing a verse? And he said, you know what? I've decided not to record this anymore. No, he's a good guy. I think he actually might be listening to us on his bus ride into Chicago. So.
Awesome. Thanks.
So, that's 10 hours. That's 10 hours he'll never get back from us.
It's so
anyway, funny. I'm going to try to... yeah.
It's so funny that we have a fan, viewer, listener, podcast friend named Den Allen, and then we have Din from what we just talked about. I always get the names confused in my head, even though I know which one I'm talking about.
There's Den, Din, and Den of Nerds. Den of Nerds.
And Den of Nerds. Yeah, there, and there. Anyways,
it's the trifecta. All right, let's wrap this up because we got to go to bed. We got a big day tomorrow of watching Andrew shop at Star Wars Celebration. I'm going to be like phoning him like through Facebook audio like nonstop tomorrow. Just like, what Black Series are in the booth you're at? Are you at the show store? Get there. I need that t-shirt and hat. What Funko is that? Andrew. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then it's going to end with me saying, Brock, you were always scum.
The Celebration Scum.
Hey scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.